Phantomaniacs. Welcome to the newest unboxing here on the Needless Things YouTube channel, brought to you by Audible Interlude, a G.I. Joe podcast, available every Friday wherever you get your podcast. Today we are taking a look at Dr. Mindbender. I already removed him from the shipping carton because the Serpentor video took 44 minutes and nobody wants to look at Dr. Mindbender for that long. Another beautiful piece of packaging here. Incredible art on the front in this sort of sleeve, which this one is not taped on, which I appreciate. Actually, yeah, Serpentor was. On the back, we've got that artwork that is just bonkers. What a way to put this guy over. You've got, obviously, raiding the tomb for some DNA in action with Destro. Some kind of crazy insanity over here with what looks like the brainwave scanner, maybe. And then the genetic sequences in the back. And then all of Serpentor's components. Which, by the way, interesting that rather than just vials of DNA, they have the actual corpses here. And, it's just representative artwork, but still kind of awesome. And then over here with Serpentor's cowl with Baroness and Destro. Interesting to note, Baroness is like in the background and you can't tell what she looks like here. Like it's literally just her head. So you can't tell if it's that older design or if maybe they've got a new Baroness in the works, which I would hope. And then over here, just literally undersea with this little like rebreather deal. Just awesome. Beautiful, beautiful artwork. And again, this line absolutely deserves an art book collection at some point. The outside of the box matches Serpentor's box. So you've got, which does not stay closed, by the way. So you have these two cool looking complementary packages that go along with each other. I think that was a great decision. I love that they made this. Again, Emily talks all the time about storytelling, and this is, the way that the packaging has been done on these, and the way that they sold them. This has been a great example of storytelling within a toy line. Dr. Mindbender's specialty is number 43. His specialties are these are printed. They're a little hard to make out here. Okay, so his specialties are atomic things. Wow, this is interesting. Look at these different designations. Well, first of all, you've got this cool, like, file-looking thing up here with the Cobra logo. But I'm going to have to get on the website and see, does this mean, like, primary specialty? This doesn't have a crest behind it. Very interesting. I'm going to have to check these out. And you can go, oh, it's not on this packaging. Well, it's probably on that sleeve. Yeah, there it is, GIJoe.com. All right, let's go ahead and get into Mindbender here. You open up the box. Very nice looking interior with Mindbender front and center. All of his accessories surrounding him. And then, wow, just a great selection of weird stuff to include with this figure. I wonder if I can pop him right out of here, because we received in the Audible Interlude chat a very disturbing picture from Christian of Mindbender's shoulder with terrible black smudges. Oh, look, mine's got the same thing. Wow, Hasbro. What are you doing? That's terrible. All right, let's get his cape off here. Look at that. Completely unacceptable. On both sides, just stained black. I wonder if I'll be able to get that off. Wow, how do his little suspenders go here? It's a little wacky. Because you've got one kind of up high and the other one's down low, but they both seem like they're in the right spot for where they are. I'm not sure how those are supposed to fit. I guess this one probably just got stretched out. And they go kind of like that, maybe. Does the art give us any clues? No, it does not. All right. So right out of the box, we have a massive failure on the part of Hasbro with this staining. And this fabric, as Christian pointed out, is notorious for doing that. So I don't know what Hasbro was thinking there. I have read online that if you soak something like this in cold water, it will get the remainder of the dye out and you can safely display it on your figure. But yeah, that's pretty disappointing there. Otherwise, the cloak looks really cool. It actually has a texture to it that's almost sort of scaly looking. It's got a nice sheen, but we're off to a bad start. Okay, so black stained shoulders aside, how does Mindbender look? Mindbender looks, he's got a really loose elbow right there. But then the top is extremely tight and doesn't want to move at all. And then the other side, the top part moves fine. The bottom, okay, so our right elbow is okay. All of this is sculpt. Let me get this out of the background so my camera doesn't get tempted to not focus on the figure. Okay, so all this, these aren't like added little pieces. This is sculpted onto the figure, which I prefer. He's got this beautiful armor here. And comparison-wise, here is our original, which if you'll notice, those bicep straps are a new thing. That portrait is fantastic. Very true to the original, but also updated. And everything else from his metal suspenders to his codpiece, all represented very nicely. I would kind of like, interesting that the silver detail, well, they changed his boots up a little bit. Because the original figure, as you can see, you've got silver around the top here, and then he's got kind of like a spur situation going on. Or whatever these are called. They doesn't actually have spur. Well, does he have spurs? No, just these weird, like, heavy metal rocker dude additions on his boots. Whereas on the classified version, he's just got these, like, buckles here. So the heavy metal boot straps would have been cool, but aren't really necessary. He's got a really good physique. He is ripped but slim. Like, they didn't make him super thick. He's got like a Finn Balor thing going on, as opposed to just being a big beefy Brock Lesnar dude. So I like that. He's got the holster that you'll have to kind of, all of his softer plastic parts here seem like they're sort of slightly out of place. He's going to have to be probably heated up and everything will go back to where it's supposed to be. Not a huge deal, certainly not as big a deal as those blackened shoulders. But it looks awesome. Look at behind the monocle, that eye. Let's try and get a good, let me adjust my light a little bit here. I'm not in quite the right spot. I had to do a lot of moving around for some of the photographs lately. So yeah, take a look at that eye behind the monocle. And I remember them talking about the detail of that monocle and how it actually had like sort of a electronic cybernetic appearance. It's so fine you can barely even see it, but it's there and it looks great. One difference that bothered me from the start about this guy was that the original had this really beautiful silver cobra logo tampoed on the cape. This one does not have it. That definitely was disappointing to me. All right, I think that's as much comparison as we really need with these two. So now let's take a look at those accessories that caused him to be such a premium price. This is going to be the easiest way to get those out of there. This is the same deal as Serpentor. I wonder if I can get them out of there without removing... No, because they're taped in. It's going to be too hard. All right. Let's go ahead and get those as well. I do love this packaging. Whoever designed this deserves some sort of award for their heroic work in the field of action figure packaging. You see the background there. You've got all this nice printing. Everything looks great. It's not just blank cardboard. And it's also not just a burst like the standard release figures. They actually went to the effort of creating this like laboratory look, which could be a cool diorama for your figure if you want to display it that way. But me, I'm running out of space. So that ain't going to happen. All right, we have Mindbender's pistol, which is as similar. Look at that. Oh man, very similar to the original. Nice work there. And I appreciate that it's not the lighter gray, and it even has the hole in the front for blast effects. We got a couple of science storage cylinders, right? What do you call these things? I don't know. But they look awesome. The red translucent plastic is very cool. They pop right open so you can put whatever is going to go in them. These are nice little storytelling details that I love to see. They go in there securely, so you don't have to worry about them just falling apart. Interesting that they've got all these little holes here, almost like things could be plugged into them. And then we've got Mindbender's traditional torture prod or whatever that is faithful but plussed up, basically. Looks great. And then an injection gun type deal. A little extra paint on this one on the top part here, which is nice. Looks good. Oh, there it is. Okay. So you also have a more traditional version of the Mindbender torture prod or whatever that looks much more like the original. Interesting. And then, of course, the hoses are great. And rather than the big giant box that attached to the original figure, we have this little cylinder piece that I believe, plugs into his belt here. And let's see how well that works. Very well. I did not expect that to stay in place at all. But it does very nicely. We'll take another look at that. We didn't get a nice detail look. Just a nice little sculpt, interesting looking doodad. Pretty cool. And then one end of the hose goes on there. The other end of the hose, I'm going to put it on the new extra science fiction-y looking one. I like that one. There you go, easy enough. And then we've got our various weird... Oh, okay. Oh my gosh. Oh man. Little tiny parts. So I think we have discovered what the holes are for. Tape back into place. Oh man. Oh, look at this. So you've got the brain here that can plug right into the skull. And the brain has this weird little part on the bottom. So it goes in that way, I believe. Or maybe the other way. No, it doesn't matter. It just kind of sits in there. And then that goes on there. Let's see if I can get this to fit a little bit better. Because it looks like it should, like, oh, it does. It solidly plugs in there. And then that plugs into place. And you've got creepy, as well as a hand. For some reason, a hand with some technology in it. Look at these wires on this hand. I wonder what this is. Very interesting. And then these little deals that I believe will plug into these holes. Yup. Again, if you haven't heard me explain it before, I just order this stuff. I don't sit there and look at every single little detail of everything that comes with everything and what it's supposed to be, because to me, part of the fun of collecting is opening it up, seeing what's included inside, and just having fun trying to put this stuff together, which I'm not having a lot of success with this last piece here. I'm going to attribute this to my big clumsy fingers. There we go. All right, so yeah, you've got this weird little unit there. And you open your skull back up, pop that brain out. And that plugs in to that. And that pops back on there. And there is your little brain unit. So weird. So awesome. And then for this cylinder, this gets the weird cyborg zombie hand. Goes in there. Again, great little pieces of storytelling. I really appreciate it. So there he is, Dr. Mindbender, with his stained arms that I'm going to try to fix up. We'll see how much success I have with that. There may or may not be more of this video where I come back and say, hey, I figured this out. This will clean those arms up. So there you go. Dr. Mindbender looking mostly awesome. A deluxe figure from Hasbro. Is it worth the deluxe price tag? Yeah. My personal opinion, yeah. I think these extras that I will, rather than put in a drawer like I normally would with things like this, I'll actually be looking to display those. I'm pretty excited about them. I'll find some way to, maybe I can, oh, you know what? I have an idea as to what to do with all of this. Where could I possibly get the elements of a mad scientist's lab? Stay tuned. Maybe I'll share it with you. Thanks for watching, you guys. Please like, subscribe, share, and as always, code Cobra.
Smash that like button if you like Needless Things.